Good morning. Welcome to Sealand Middle School. We're really excited to have you here as a guest teacher, and we hope and expect that staff and students are going to treat you with respect and care. With that being said, we want to make sure that you understand the clear and consistent expectations that we have for students here at Sealand Middle School. Something called Viking Pride. In a minute, you're going to go over a flow chart so that you can be clear and consistent, provide students feedback, and hold them accountable. But let's start by emphasizing the importance of speaking a common language for students. Viking Pride stands for positive, respectful, in control, dependable, and engaged. And we expect our students to demonstrate Viking Pride in all aspects of student life. We appreciate you being here. Touch base with a neighbor teacher, myself, or any other building administrators if you have any questions while you're here today. If you have a situation that you want to touch base with us on at the end of the day, feel free to do so. Get ready to dominate the day. We appreciate you being here.
What you're looking at now is our Viking Pride flow chart. This flow chart is going to help you remember and follow the sequence of directing students. Before we get started, I want to just point out that if a student's having a tough time managing their behavior, it's not that they can't. We need to fully believe that our students are capable of managing themselves. We call that self-management. So you encourage students throughout the day, hey, be a self-manager. You can say, hey, I don't want to manage your behavior. You can manage your behavior. You can do so using a positive tone in which it promotes and encourages that, hey, I believe in you, student. So if you look at the top left under the minor section of the flow chart, it says redirect. That can be either a verbal or a nonverbal cue. This is the redirect number 1 that every student will get if they're off task, being disrespectful, not fully engaged in the learning. All the student needs is a little bit of feedback so they can self-manage. I'm going to encourage you to have the same redirect number 1 for all kids so that they don't have to guess what it was. So you could simply let kids know that you're going to tap on their desk if they need a redirect. Or you're going to have a common theme. You could say something as silly as, consider yourself redirected, and just do so in a positive tone. But start each class period and tell the students, if you need a first redirect, this is what it's going to be. Moving on, the second verbal reminder. This is redirect number 2. Clear and consistent building wide. We simply look at the student, get close proximity if at all possible during the learning environment, and we say Viking Pride. During this time, it's important that once we say Viking Pride, we move on. Teaching continues, and you identify students who are demonstrating Viking Pride by saying, hey, nice job, I like the way you're raising your hand. We don't say Viking Pride. You need to stop talking to your partner. You need to be on task. That's managing the behavior. All we need to do is say Viking Pride, then we move on. That allows students to think and reflect on their behavior and ultimately become a self-manager. Moving on, let's say later on in the period, that same student needs a third reminder. That student is still not in trouble. You're going to take the green ticket located in your sub-notebook that says think time. All you're going to do is quietly walk over to that student and drop the paper on their desk that says think time and just say think time, and then walk off. Much like Viking Pride, I'm not going to tell the student why they chose a think time. I'm going to walk off, instruction continues, focus and reward and recognize positive behavior using your pride passes. That student needs to go to there's a chair in the room. Every classroom, the students know where that chair is, where think time is, and you could start by asking your first period class, hey, where's the think time chair? Once you know where that think time chair is, and all the students in that class will know where the think time chair is, you drop that think time ticket off, the student takes their Chromebook, quietly walks to the think time chair. They're there not because they're in trouble, because they just haven't managed yet. They need another opportunity to reflect. On their Chromebook, they're not playing games, they're not doing anything else, they're still facing learning, but there's a document on there called a think time document. The students know how to access it, and it's just a series of questions getting them to reflect on why they're in think time and how they're going to re-enter learning and show Viking Pride. There should be hard copy think times too in the sub notebooks. So if the student doesn't have a computer, it's not working, they can't find it, you can just quickly give them a hard copy of the think time and then turn that into the office at the end of the day. Once the student's on think time, you're going to continue with instruction while gauging the student's body language. Give them 2 to 3 minutes to reflect, and then slowly walk over to that kid, stand side by side next to him, not standing over the top of them. Stand side by side and just simply ask, hey, why were you in think time? Student is going to say, I was talking, I was loud, I was disrespectful, whatever. You just say, yeah, hey, are you ready to show Viking Pride? Awesome, come on back in. Student pushes submit or hands you the hard copy of the think time and re-enters learning. If the student's not successful during think time, or they come back into learning and they need one more redirect, that's a make it right plan. Simply go to your phone, push 0, request an administrator, just say, I've got a think time in Mrs. Crab's classroom, or wherever you may be. An administrator will then come and escort that student in the office to make it right. That's the Viking Pride system that we're going to use at Sela Middle School to help 850 students be self-managers. Please let us know if you've got any questions. Touch base with a neighboring teacher and ask any clarifying questions. At the end of the day, if a student's not responding to this, or a student's behavior is so severe that you need admin support, let us know. We're going to trust you to make good decisions. Obviously, you're here because you like kids. So just use this system. Allow yourself to apply it and to try it and to get better at it. You may not knock it out of the park day one, but we appreciate you being here. And we really expect and hope that our staff and students are going to treat all our guest teachers with respect and care.